It's going to be number 22 UCLA going at number 11 Utah, both undefeated. The line changed this morning. We're filming on Thursday at about noonish right now. This morning it was what, 4.5 for Utah?
Yeah, 4.5 favor Utah. Moved up to
6. So we're starting to think, what does Vegas know? Are we thinking, Cam Rising's back?
Yeah,
he's going to be playing.
I think you're going to see the debut of one Cameron Rising this week.
Cameron Rising.
For Utah, that's obviously huge. This is your guy. Utah was a team that they've grown year by year, slowly got their way to the Pac-12 championship game, fell short a couple times. Cameron Rising comes in and he gets them over the line.
Yeah.
Wins back-to-back championships. This is the guy. This is the guy that if you're an opposing team, you don't want to see him run out there on the field.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's got this aura to him. He knows that he's willing to take a hit. He's willing to lower your shoulder and run someone over if he has to. That's just kind of QB he is. And, this will be something that UCLA is hoping that, when that ball's kicked off and Utah runs out on the field, they're going to hope number 7's not there.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. And, it's like Utah is kind of missing that, that key component is the offense hasn't been that anything too impressive. At the backups, we're talking about Bryson Barnes. We're talking about your man,
Nate Johnson.
Younger guys. Obviously, Bryson's been there a little longer than Nate. But, even against Florida, it was like we saw a little bit of offense in the first half, but second half was slow for Utah. I think the defense bailed them out of that week 2 against Baylor. Mm-hmm. And then even Weber State, they seemed to struggle. So I'm thinking, Cam Rising needs to come back. And it's going to be tough. Dude hasn't played football, and we're talking about, what was it, 10 months?
Yeah, it's January.
So, yeah, we're talking about, early 9 months, early January. So we're talking about like 9 months. He hasn't played football, so it's going to be interesting to see if he will, will be able to adapt and come back and play with the same firepower that he was able to do to win this team back-to-back Pac-12 championships.
Yeah, so and UCLA got the win last year in Pasadena. And a large part with that was because of DTR and their ability to run kind of like those option plays, getting the quarterback out in space, letting him do his thing. Now you got freshman Dante Moore coming in for the start.
Yeah, second in his class for quarterbacks.
Yeah, 5-star kid comes into an environment in Salt Lake City that a lot of QBs in general don't play well in. So this is going to be a huge test for him and Chip Kelly.
Yeah.
Because they're going to have to scheme something where he's comfortable playing against, and I'm okay saying this now, this is the best defense in the Pac-12. And it's not close either. Utah has the best defense in the Pac-12. That defense is suffocating. They got linebackers running across the field. They got safeties, putting their head down and laying it into people. So this would be a really tough test for Dante. Mm-hmm. And he's going to have to really lean on some of his veteran players in this team to really help him out, because it's going to be an environment that he's never played in.
Never played in before. So jumping into conference play, playing Utah and Rice Eccles, Salt Lake City, it's going to be definitely a tough one for him.
Yeah, and this is a real big test for UCLA too, because, coming into the season, everyone thought they were going to take a big step back. Mm-hmm. Losing DTR, losing Charbonnet, Jake Bobo goes to the NFL as well. It was kind of like a reload, maybe a rebuild type of year for them. And instead of rebuilding, it looks like they've reloaded. Yeah, they got a lot of talent, a lot of players that have come in, and this is their first true test. They took care of their non-con pretty easy, put up a lot of points, looked really flashy, but this is where the business starts.
Yeah, it's like you could easily say, oh, well, UCLA beat Utah last year, but I think about every component and why UCLA won that game, and they just haven't returned to this team this year. And the fact that it's back in Rice Eccles, I just see Utah getting this win, because it's like DTR, Charbonnet, what was it, Bobo?
Yeah, Jake Bobo.
They tore apart this Utah defense. I think Dante Moore, he's a little young. It's a little too early for him. Tough environment. I got Utah winning this game. I think they're going to cover as well. I think they win by at least a touchdown.
Yeah, and this is a tough game for me, because you look at all those pieces that UCLA had last year to get them the win. I didn't necessarily think UCLA was the better team on the day. They made more plays, and ended up getting the job done. So fair play to them. But this is gonna be a really, really tough game for them, and where I'm really excited to find out if UCLA is one of those probably top tier teams in the pack.
Yeah.
If you think of top tier teams in the pack, you think of Washington, USC, Oregon, probably Utah in there as well. Maybe Oregon State kind of on the outside looking in as well.
Yeah.
And I'd put UCLA right in that category. If they really want to compete for this conference, they got to win a game like this.
Mm-hmm.
So Chip Kelly's got, he's got a big, big task on his hand.
Yeah.
And he's got to be able to figure out how to get it done. I'm also going to go with Utah.
Yeah.
I'm going to put in the little kind of like asterisk saying it doesn't matter who's playing QB. If Cam runs out there, I think Utah wins. I think if Nate Johnson runs out there, I think Utah wins.
Really?
I do think it will be a close game though, depending on who plays.
Yeah.
I think Cam is going to be really rusty if he comes out and plays, because people are really underestimating the fact that he really hasn't taken a hit, in about 9-10 months.
Yeah.
So it's like taking that first hit will be important for him to really get his feel in the game. I think there's a chance that if Cam plays, Utah starts really slow and UCLA jumps out to an early lead. But I think it's going to be one of those games where, Utah's going to have the ball down the stretch. They're going to get that touchdown to go up, and then they're really going to be able to see out the rest of this game. Man. But I think Dante Moore, I think this is a game where you're really going to see a lot of turnovers from him.
Really?
I think there's a chance he turns the ball over a couple times.
Yeah.
Because like I said, this is a defense that they're one of the best in the nation. They really are. This team is suffocating on D, and, Dante is going to get blitzed a ton.
Yeah.
Utah loves to run, 5, 6, even 7 at times, rushers at the QB. So he's going to have to be really smart with the ball if UCLA wants a chance to win the game. But I think Utah's defense and Cam do enough to get it done.
Yeah, and being at home. I mean, this team rarely loses.
What's that streak? 15, 16 wins at home? Straight
like
wins?
that,
Something like that. Something crazy like that.
Yeah, they kill it. We saw last year with USC, and I think they get it done again this weekend. UCLA